You lie down tonight. Soft mattress, clean sheets, a pillow under your head. You don't think about it. You just sleep. But strip that away. Take away the mattress. Take away the frame. Take away the room itself. Now you're on the ground. The cold ground. With predators in the dark and no lock on any door. This is where humans slept for almost their entire existence. Not for 100 years, not for 1,000 years, for hundreds of thousands of years. You come from people who never once slept on a bed. And somehow, they survived. So what did they actually do? Where did they lie down? How did they stay alive through the night, every single night, for generation after generation? You're about to find out, and some of it is going to make your bedroom feel like a miracle. Let's start with the numbers, because they set the stage for everything. Modern beds, the kind with springs and frames, are maybe a few hundred years old. Even simple raised sleeping platforms go back only a few thousand years.
But Homo sapiens is roughly 300,000 years old. Do the math. That means for over 99% of human history, nobody slept on a bed. Not one person. Not your ancestors, not their ancestors. Nobody. So if beds aren't the answer, what were ancient humans actually doing every single night? You have to understand something first. The ground was not safe. It was cold. It pulled the heat right out of a human body. It was hard. It bruised hips and shoulders and spines. And it was crawling. Insects, parasites, snakes, all moving through the same dirt a person wanted to sleep on.
So early humans didn't just lie down anywhere. They built barriers between themselves and the earth. Archaeologists have found some of the answers at a site called Sibudu Cave in South Africa. There, researchers uncovered layered bedding made from sedge and rush plants dated to around 77,000 years ago. That's not just grass tossed on the floor. That's construction. That's a bed built by hand 77,000 years before your mattress existed. And here's the detail that should really stop you.
Some of those plant layers contained natural insect-repelling compounds. Ancient humans appear to have chosen specific leaves on purpose because those leaves kept bugs away. Think about that. Before medicine, before science as we know it, someone figured out which leaves to sleep on to avoid getting bitten all night. That's not luck. That's testing, failing, remembering, and passing the answer down. Fire was the real bed. If the ground was the enemy, fire was the alliance that made sleep possible at all. You couldn't just lie down in the open at night. The dark held wolves, hyenas, big cats, all of them capable of killing a sleeping human in seconds. Fire changed that equation completely. Most predators fear open flame, so a fire wasn't just warmth, it was a wall, an invisible fence that kept the worst of the night outside its light. This is likely why so many ancient sleeping sites are found clustered around hearths. People didn't spread out across a cave. They packed in close to the fire, shoulder to shoulder, because that circle of light was survival, and someone always had to keep it burning. That means someone was always awake, feeding branches into the flame, watching the dark past the edge of the light. Sleep for early humans was never truly private. It was a group project run in shifts every single night for tens of thousands of years. You've probably never once thought about who's on duty while you sleep. For most of human history, that wasn't a hypothetical.
Height was armor. Not every threat could be solved with fire. Some had to be solved with distance. In parts of Africa, evidence suggests early humans built sleeping platforms up in trees, echoing what some primates still do today. Why?
because the ground level was where the leopards were. Get high enough, and a predator can't reach you without a fight it doesn't want. Later, humans took that same logic and applied it on the ground. Elevated platforms made from branches and hides lifted sleepers away from crawling insects, damp soil, and small nocturnal predators.
It's a small shift, a few inches off the dirt. But those few inches were the difference between a night of sleep and a night of being eaten alive. Every choice you're hearing about right now came from the same source. Not comfort, survival. Nobody was designing a nice place to sleep. They were solving a problem. How do I make it to morning?
The body adapted too. Here's something that might surprise you. It wasn't only behavior that changed. The human body itself may have adjusted. Some researchers argue that pre-industrial and hunter-gatherer sleep patterns looked different from yours. Not one long block of 8 hours, but 2 segments, split by a period of quiet wakefulness in the middle of the night. Historical records from more recent centuries describe exactly this pattern: a first sleep, then time awake for reflection or quiet tasks, then a second sleep before dawn. If that pattern stretches back into deep prehistory, it means the pressure of staying alert through a dangerous night may have shaped human sleep biology itself. You inherited a body built, at least in part, by threat. Every time you wake up at 3 in the morning for no reason, you might be feeling an echo of thousands of generations who had to. What it cost them. Now, step back and look at the full picture. No mattress, no walls that lock, no guarantee that morning would come. Ancient humans slept in short, layered stretches, half alert, close to fire, close to each other, because isolation was a death sentence and stillness was a risk. And yet, inside all of that danger, they still slept. They still dreamed. They still woke up and raised children and told stories and survived long enough to become you. That's the part worth sitting with. You are the result of thousands of generations of people who never once felt fully safe closing their eyes. And they made it through anyway. So tonight, when you lie down on your mattress, in your locked room, under a roof that isn't going anywhere, remember what that actually is. It isn't ordinary. It's the end result of 300,000 years of humans slowly building their way out of the dirt, out of the dark, and into the one thing their ancestors almost never had: rest, without fear. Sleep well tonight. You've earned a peace that most